Whenever you're ready, I'm ready to start, inshallah. Ready? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر وأنت على كل شيء قدير. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما واجعل التفرق بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تدع فينا شقيا ولا محروما. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to Him, and peace and blessings be upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How to benefit in the last nights of Ramadan. This is the title. How to benefit in the last nights of Ramadan. I'll try to make it as simple as I can, direct to the point, very precise. And inshallah, none of us will leave this place but have some kind of benefit, inshallah, with the help, the blessings, and the acceptance of Allah. Now, how to benefit from the last night depends on how I perceive Ramadan itself. Because this is like a marginal issue compared with the basic things, which is, what does Ramadan mean for me, how I perceive Ramadan, how I understand Ramadan, then I can decide how I will benefit from the last days of Ramadan. So to answer this question, because basically this small lecture is an answer for the question, how to benefit. So to know how to benefit, let's go back square number one. Square number one now. For me, what does Ramadan mean? If you understand it in the following way, if you share with me what I will say now, I will tell you how to benefit. Now, I hope we will share the following. The following fixing misconception. For many reasons, many people, they might think that Ramadan is just a test of, for us to have hunger, to stop eating, not having food. We can be very nice as a human being so that we can feel with poor and needy, which is true, but actually it's not true. It's true as a sub-marginal issue that happens by default. It's not a basic. Many Muslims around the world, when you ask many children, why do you fast the month of Ramadan? So that we can feel with poor and needy and something. Be careful. This is a big mistake. This is a very simple, humble goal of Ramadan. It comes by default. The main reason of Ramadan, it's not my decision to decide. Actually, Allah has said it clearly what is the main reason of Ramadan. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. The main reason, as Allah states clearly in the Quran, is to have the taqwa. Not to feel with the poor. Feel with the poor is something, goal number 100. Taqwa. But what is taqwa? Now taqwa, we need to understand Arabic now. Ittaqa, yattaqi, muttaqi, taqwa. The origin of the word talks about to protect and protection. Having a shield against something. When I say, for example, ittaqaytu darbata. Someone about to hit me and I avoided it. We say ittaqaytu in Arabic. If the rain is coming and I'm holding an umbrella, in Arabic I say ittaqaytu al-balal. I protected myself from the water of the rain that's coming by what? This is an Arabic, the lexicon meaning of taqwa, which means protection. The protection against what? I'm avoiding what when I say taqwa? As a terminology, I'm avoiding simply the anger of Allah. I'm avoiding anything displeases Allah. Period. Now we are living, everything in the world, it's either pleases Allah or displeases Allah. Either or, black and white. What pleases Allah, I'm supposed to chase and follow and to do as much as I can. What displease Allah, I'm asked to avoid and to do taqwa, which means to attaqi. Anything, qawl, fi'l, amal, anything displease Allah, I'm asked simply to avoid, to attaqi. This is the meaning of taqwa, in a very simple word. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He decided to make Ramadan an obligation, it's to train us on taqwa. And by the way, it's good to remember that the Quran said what? كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُم. We were preceded with 124,000 prophets before Prophet Muhammad. So the population, we have no idea about the real number of the humanity. We have no idea. But we have an idea that tens of thousands of prophets and messengers, they came before Prophet Muhammad. We know 25 of them. But Allah said in the Quran, وَرُسُلًا لَمْ نَقْصُصْهُمْ عَلَيْكَ. We have not told you about. Prophet Muhammad in the hadith said, so you can assume that there are maybe tens of millions, hundreds of millions, tens of billions. Allah knows. All of those people, they were commanded to fast. It's not something just, exceptional for us. All believers during the humanity, which could be hundreds of thousands of years, with tens of billions of people, they were fasting. Why? Taqwa. Type. What is the concept of taqwa here in Ramadan? Ramadan basically is designed to train you and me how to respect the commandment of Allah. I will explain to you how. When Allah created us, He created us on the base that we have something we call it desire, shahawat. We have the desire of sulta, authority. Any of us would love to have authority. It's a desire, shahwa. Right. We have the sexual desire, males to females, females to males. Otherwise, we will not marry, we will not have the reproduction, human race will disappear. So Allah created this magnetic something, this kind of attitude amazing that we are attracted. This is shahwa, a desire. So that's why we marry. That's why anyone who does not care with haram and halal, he rapes and he commits zina and because it's shahwa. There is a big drive, big motivation for that. Right. We have the shahwa of authority, desire. We have the shahwa for sex. We have shahwa of the money. We have the shahwa of our what? This could be, the shahwa, the desire for food and drink could be the most powerful one. How can I prove this? Can we live without power? Yes. Can we live with less money? Yes. Can we live without marriage? Yes. Can you live without food? You die. 2-3 days, you are finished. Therefore, you can realize how powerful the desire is by asking yourself, if you lose it, what will happen? I can live without being a multimillionaire all of my life, no problem. I have a desire for money. But what if I did not get it? I can manage. We have a desire to have, let's say, satisfaction our sexual life. If we don't, we have a great ulama. They did not marry. Great ulama. They did not. An-Nawawi radiallahu anhu. Allah, one of the greatest ulama of the history of Islam. He passed away on the age of 45. He composed, Riyadh al-Salihin is one of the I think there is no Muslim on earth who does not know Riyadh al-Salihin by An-Nawawi. Sharh Sahih Muslim. He did not marry. Tell me about one person in the history he lived without food and drink. Impossible. Except with a miracle or a karama. This is not our discussion now. This is Allah's decision. We talk about the normal laws now. Okay? What does this mean? Look, how is the test? What is the benefit of Ramadan? Allah is testing you and me, apart from exceptions. If you are sick, you are traveling, you are in need, forget. You are not part of the equation now. As a normal person, I have a very powerful desire, food and drink. Allah is commanding me, I want you, if you respect me, O my servants, you have the food, you can access the food, don't touch it for a certain time. The idea is not the food, the idea is what? Respect for the source of the commandment by not eating the food. Do I respect or not? Because respect means I do admit his existence and I do admit his right upon me that he is al-Khaliq and he has the right to command me and I'm supposed to follow out of respect. When I do this for 30 days continuously, have the desire, just imagine when you are so hungry and you face the fitna of the very nice, delicious cooking of your wife or your mother. Wallah, it's fitna. It is fitna. Because, you would love to eat. And you have a source of an excellent person who makes a very nice food, or you pass by a place or something you like, or at least, anyway, this point, now we understand. Our question is what? How to benefit last 10 days. Now I'm taking you back step to understand what is the reality of Ramadan. So Ramadan, it should be clear in your mind and my mind that Ramadan's basic point is to train us on the taqwa. Which means, in theory, we all believe, in theory. In theory, we all claim that Allah does exist. We all claim that we love Allah. Okay, yalla, come to the practical text. Do you love Allah? Yes, Sheikh. Okay, Allah is asking you to stop. When you do it, when you pass the exam, alhamdulillah, you have the certificate that you passed really. And it's like a certificate for you against the whispering of the shaitan, whether you are a true believer or not. You need it. Because sometimes, Sheikh, how can I know that I'm a true believer? How can I know that I'm right? How can I know? Khalas, Allah is commanding you, you are doing this. This is number one. So understand Ramadan from this point of view, from this angle. This is number one. Number two, of the benefits of Ramadan and the importance of Ramadan, what we call in Arabic, kasr al-ma'luf. And please focus on this. Breaking the habits and the customs. One of the biggest disaster Muslims face is not they are not convinced. It's not that they don't know. It's not that they have no knowledge. No. They know, they are aware. The majority, they are not able to break their style of life. I will give you two quick dalils on my own side. Muslim smokers, non-hijabi sisters. Two examples. Do you witness in your daily life many people around you, and there are millions, they would love to leave smoking? They wish to smoke. They know knowledge. Smoking is harmful, they know it. Smoking is haram, they know it. It kills your lung, they know it. They know it makes the cancer in your gum, in your lung, in your throat, in your tongue. You don't know the knowledge. But on top of them, doctors. Did you witness doctors smoke or not? Type. Who on earth knows how harmful smoking is more than doctors? Is there anyone who knows more than doctors how harmful smoking is? Type. Do they smoke? They do. Yes, they do. Because they don't know? No, they know. They are not convinced. Wallahi, they are convinced more than all of us. Actually, they go to the surgery and they take the lung by their own hands for a dead person by lung cancer, and they know exactly what does the smoking do for their lungs. They know it. Okay, but why they do it? Say, I can't. We call it addiction. We call it style of life. We call it billahi alaykum. How many of you would love on a certain time, you have an addiction, not the haram addiction, the normal addiction. For example, just to have a coffee, Tim Hortons at a certain time in the morning, after you take your breakfast. Khalas. I mean, if you don't drink coffee or you don't drink tea, regardless, it depends, okay? At a certain time, after having a food sitting, you saw smoking and drinking. This is style of life. Type. Ramadan comes, breaks every custom, every habit you create all the year. It comes like this, you see, upside down. You don't sleep on the time that you desire. You don't eat in the time that you desire. You don't eat what you desire. You don't go to bed in the time that you desire. So everything against your desire. So Ramadan comes, it's like someone who, like a drunk person, you are trying, screaming, speaking with him, hey, wake up, there is a hole. You wake up. Ramadan comes like slap. woke up. Ramadan breaks every habit and custom in our life. Nothing stays as is. After the 1 month, you have been trained by force in 2 big main areas in your life. Training course on how to respect Allah. A training course how after breaking all of your habits, you are still living and enjoying and nothing happened. You can do it. Yalla, after Ramadan, this is like an evidence from Allah by force to know that you can live without your style of life. And we give the example of the smokers, doctor smokers, Muslims. Another example about non-hijabi sisters. We have millions of sisters who don't wear the hijab. They believe it's fard. They know it's fard. They are convinced with the adillah. And they know that they are doing haram. Okay, come on to them. Sister, why don't you wear the hijab? Style of life. Plus, it's my style. None, they wear it around me. Khalas, this is my style. I have blue jeans all the time. I'm get used to my hair all the time. I work sport. I go to the gym. And everything, style of life, my friends, times, when I go out, everything will be broken. Just style of life. She knows. She's convinced. But she can't. She can't. Ramadan comes, when it breaks everything. How many sisters they come to the Taraweeh and Tahajjud and they put, this kind of temporary time and they pray with it. So 30 days all the time. Anyway, I just wanted to send 2 messages in my first square number 1. Ramadan is to train us on taqwa, not just to feel with poor and needy, which is much more important than anything. Number 2, it breaks all kind of habits, addictions in our life. After that, full refreshed course, now we can start a new phase in our life. Right. This will lead me to another point in square number 1. When you do the taqwa and respect Allah's commandments, actually, Allah is pushing you to the most important point in our existence and our relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we are the people of Tawheed, true or false? True or false? طيب, we are muwahhidun. How do we translate Tawheed? In the classical original one, they say monotheism. In the, let's say, modern ways, the oneness of Allah. Okay, Sheikh, what is the oneness of Allah? What is Tawheed? You say, just to worship Allah alone. طيب, some other people, by the way, they believe that Allah is one. Are they muwahhidin? Look now, I will connect what I'm saying now, the concept of Tawheed with Ramadan. Many people, for many reasons of ignorance, they think that Tawheed is just to believe that Allah is one and to worship Him ritually. This is another big mistake. We need to fix this misconception. Believing that Allah is one and believing that Allah is Al-Khaliq and Allah is Al-Raziq alone does not make you and me muwahhidin. What is my dalil for that? وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ لَيَقُولُونَ Allah. O Muhammad, if you ask them refers to the mushrikeen of Mecca, the associators of Mecca. If you ask them, O Muhammad, who created heavens and earth, they would say definitely Allah. But still they are kuffar. And we call them kuffar. طيب, another verse. وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ وَسَخَّرَ الشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ. They would say Allah. طب what they are mushrikeen and kuffar? Please focus on this. The people of Mecca, the majority of them, they were believing that Allah does exist. And they know that Allah is Al-Raziq. And they know that Allah is Al-Khaliq. And another dalil. وَمَا نَعْبُدُهُمْ about the Asnam إِلَّا لِيُقَرِّبُونَ إِلَى اللَّهِ زُلْفَى. We don't worship these idols except that they help us to be closer to Allah. They admit Allah's existence and Allah is the creator and Allah is the most powerful. But why they are considered kuffar? Do you know why? Simply because they rejected Allah's will. Not they rejected Allah's existence. No. The one who rejected Allah's existence is mulhid, which is an atheist. The kafir and the mushrik, many of them, they admit with all the previous things. Still, they are non-believers. In our terminology. The muwahhid is not just the one who accepts Allah's existence. No. Does Allah exist? Yes. Tick. Is Allah the creator? Yes. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, yallah. Obey this Allah. Do what He wants, not what you want. By this you will become a full muwahhid and Muslim. If you delete this, all of the previous things, nothing. What's the point? What is وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. Imagine your son now. You've been working 40 years till you become a rich person. You went through hundreds of hardships in your life. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. You collected the money by, using your nails digging the ground. You made everything. Now, your son, you ask your son, my dear son, do you know that I am the source of your money? Say, yes, daddy. طيب. Do you know that I am the only source of providing for all of luxury life of yours? Say, yes, daddy. طيب. Do you know that? Yes, 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 yes. طيب. لو سمحت, I want you to do such and such. I say, excuse me, don't interfere in my business. Excuse me? My son, do you love me? Oh, wallahi, ya daddy, I love you. I listen to songs saying, love dad, love dad, love dad. Okay, right. I don't want you to leave home after 10 a.m. Excuse me, dad, don't interfere in my business. What's that? Excuse me? You will kick him out. You will smash him. You will demolish him. Because simply he is a very rude son. You don't care that he's saying, Dad, I love you. You care in what he's doing. Sorry, sir, I can't hear you. Your action is louder than your words. I don't care with what you say. I care with what you do. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. So to understand the relation between Ramadan, taqwa, breaking the habits, and tawheed. Which is, what's the core as the final result? We believe in His existence, good, tick number one. We believe He is the creator, yes. We believe He is the sustainer, alhamdulillah. طب يلا, complete now the full, let's say, equation. Now, listen to Him, obey His commandments, say no. What is the proof of my قال ولا تكرهوا. I'll give you examples. Abu Jahl, Umayyah ibn Khalaf, all of these people, they believe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ يَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ. When Allah said, okay, worship me alone, they say no. We will worship you plus the idols. Breaking the commandments. طيب. Stop dealing with prostitutions. وَلَا تُكْرِهُوا فَتَيَاتِكُمْ عَلَى الْبِغَاءِ إِنْ أَرَدْنَا تَحَصُّنًا. The business of prostitution industry. It was one of the main economic source of the Arabic Peninsula at that time. They used to enslave, kidnapping, okay, like they are. Today what they call it? Human trafficking. What's a human trafficking? They kidnap girls, they force them to be prostitutes, and they bring billions out of them in different countries around the world. This is what we call it, but in a very nice term. Human trafficking. Kidnapping, killing, raping, they call it human trafficking. You see? One of the biggest crimes. Prostitution. Allah says, وَلَا تُكْرِهُ. Don't force your girls on the prostitution. The reply of the kuffar Makkah was what? Sorry. No. Money. طيب. إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل فاجتنبوا. Quran did not say haram, he said فاجتنبوا, which includes 13 times double of haram, which means it's haram to drink it, haram to buy it, haram to sell it, haram to hold it, haram to help the one who's using it, haram to plant any kind of things and to be sold for the factory which produces alcohol, haram to take it in your truck, haram to sit with someone who is drinking it, which is 13 doubles of haram. The reaction is saying, no, we'll not stop. This is one of our greatest means of controlling the people, losing their minds and have the money. By this they became kuffar. So the idea, was it Allah's existence or obedience of Allah? Got my point? So Ramadan, in this sense, is training you how to stay muwahhid. Because it's a continuous yearly training course how to keep up the good work to stay on Tawheed. Tawheed here, not just to believe that Allah does exist. This is out of discussion. خلاص, zaman. So Allah does exist. طبعا Allah does exist. And Allah is one. Okay, we know that Allah is one. Yalla, next. Next, what is it? Allah says, such and such haram. Looking down to the people, haram. Arrogance is haram. Bribe is haram. Riba is haram. Respect His commandments. Practically in your daily life. Here comes, we understand how important Ramadan is in our life. When you understand this, it's not just to stop eating and stop drinking. No. Much more bigger than this. In light of this, if you share me this way of understanding the meaning of Ramadan, we can answer now the question of how to benefit in the last nights of Ramadan. Are you with me? In a simple, I can give a simple, easy answer now. Now, do you agree with me that our ultimate goal in this dunya is the satisfaction of Allah or not? Rida Allah. Is there something we are aiming more than the rida of Allah? Because rida of Allah means we are saved and we will go to the Jannah. Period. Why you are sitting here? Su'al. If someone asks you, you are sitting here, why? Why you come to the masjid? That's it. But practically, can you find an entertainment places more than the masjid or not? Now. Can you go have tons of other activities much more pleasure than the masjid or not? Humanly speaking. Definitely. Going to any restaurant now, eating a nice food is 10 times better than sitting in the masjid, humanly speaking. But why you come to the masjid? Why you pray? Why you pay the sadaqah? Why? Because you believe. And you believe that you will die. إنك ميت وإنهم ميتون, and you believe that I and you will be standing before Allah for accountability. In the accountability we have a set of things. If we used to do it in a proper way, we will be saved. In the human sense, we say be a good citizen. But why be a good citizen? Because you don't want to go to the jail. You don't want fine. You don't want to take your driving license. You don't want to be punished. When you have a bad driving, no license. Lost license means no Uber, no car. You can't benefit, you can't help, you can't do nothing. Simply you will be as if you don't exist if you can't drive. So therefore, even though your desire is with you have a nice car. You want a high speed 150, but if you exceeded the limit, you will lose the license, you will go to jail, no one will bring money to your friends, so you are afraid. The fact that you've been scared from the jail and the fine made you a good citizen. True or false? Type. Why all of us, we are afraid from the tax agency? Question, why? Because they have a very, very strong power against every citizen. If you don't pay the tax, may Allah be with your soul. Wallahi. Well, one of the funny things, when I came to this country, the people around me, they keep telling others, hey, be careful. Hey, don't be afraid from the security forces in this country. They're very nice, but be afraid from the tax agency. Be careful. Subhanallah. Why? Why the people, they count to 10 and they count to 100 before they make a mistake in the money? Because of the accountability. Because of the power of the state. Because of the tax agency. They have the right to dig into your house, okay, by law. The fact that you know they have the power, you count to 10 before making a mistake in your money. True or false? This is, we living it now, all of us now. But what about Allah? Very simple analogy, by the way. Allah is the ultimate power. If I'm afraid from the tax agency, I'm afraid from the whatever security forces, I'm afraid from the media, I'm afraid from the scandal, I'm afraid, which is good, nice, by the way. This is good socially. I mean, to put in your consideration not to do bad things because you are afraid of something, it's part of good thing. the problem if I do not use the same concept with Allah. Here it will be a disaster. That's why Ibn Abbas, he has a very scary statement. He said, قال يا صاحب الذنب إن خوفك من حركة الستار أعظم من الذنب نفسه. By the way, how many of you understands Arabic? Those who understand Arabic, can you raise up your hand? يعني تقريبا 40%. Okay. يا صاحب الذنب إن خوفك من حركة الستار أعظم من الذنب نفسه. He says, Ibn Abbas, he's addressing anyone who's committing a sin secretly. He said, while committing a sin, like for example, in modern times, let's say someone who's watching a porno site, alone, close the door, okay, watching haram things, looking. Now he's doing the haram, not caring about anything. When the curtains is moved, which indicates a possibility of someone is coming, you see you. The fact that you became scared from the door or the curtain because someone might see you is greater than the sin itself that you are doing, because this is like a practical proof that you are putting consideration for anyone more than Allah. You got my point? Which means now that here comes the importance of being trained on Tawheed, Taqwa, breaking our desires for the sake of the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as a muwahhideen, as people who want the Jannah, we have some certain things. Most of us, we know it, but we are falling in short in practicing it. On top of it, now the title of my talk is what? How to benefit the last 10 days. My advice to you and to myself, take a decision in the following items to have a new relation with them. What is my answer? How to benefit? Take a decision in the items I will highlight now to have a new relation with them, taking benefit of Ramadan. Number one, your relation with the Quran. Quran is the message of Allah, constitution for humanity, and we will have a lot of ajr on different levels. Just being close to the Quran, reading anything from Quran, you have ajr. Reading with tadabbur, understanding, more ajr. Being hafid for part of the Quran, higher ajr. Most of us, we are facing a serious problem in our life that we don't read the Quran. Most of us, we don't understand the Quran. Most of us, we are not hafid of the Quran. Most of us. True or false? Is it true that the majority, they read a juz' from the Quran, the yom of Muslims, the 2 billions? No, this is not. You know that it's not the truth. How can I benefit from last 10 days? You are last 10 days, ask Allah sincerely. Ya Allah, let me not leave Ramadan, but I'm a new person in my relation with the Quran. Depends on your status now. If you are someone who does not read the Quran, at least leave Ramadan. You have taken a decision not to let one day is passed in your life, but you read at least 5 pages of the Quran. If you are someone who reads the Quran just on Fridays, you start reading the Quran from today and after Ramadan every day. If you are someone who reads 1 page of the Quran every day, you start to read 10 pages of the Quran every day. If you are someone who does not memorize the Quran at all, start to memorize just 1 ayah a day. If you are someone who memorizes 2 ayahs a day, start after Ramadan to memorize half a page every day. Wherever you are, take a step forward in your lesson with the Quran. By this, I'm answering the question, how to benefit from the last 10 days. Take a decision now. Think deeply, because by the way, taking a decision is not a theory, it's not a philosophy. Taking a decision means commitments, means once you say, I will do, your mind by default will start thinking, okay, this means you have to come at least to the masjid at least once or twice. This means you need to spare a time. Like when you, for example, I'll give you an example. If you are facing pain because of some kind of illness you are suffering, and you know that this pain has to do with your style of life, which is related to your food. You eat such and such, let's say sugar for example, say sweets, let's say you have a lot of fat in your body, you don't go to the gym. You go to the doctor, he told you, look, according to the blood works, you have just your final chance. Either you will go to the hospital at any moment with a heart attack, or you have to take a decision. Maybe you are sitting, you want to take a decision. Decision means what? Decision means when you say, okay, I will change, by default, your mind will start telling you, this means you will not go with your friends for the nice dinner at night and eat sweets and halwa and baklawa and knafa. But by default, he wants to tell you, heck, your decision means no baklawa, no knafa. You will have this kind of inner discussion immediately. Yes, I will not have it. Khalas, this means you have to go to the gym. But I don't like to go. You must go. I will go. This means you will not eat bread. But I love bread. Bread, sugar, I have to stop it. But I don't enjoy it. All of the food that I like it, immediately your mind will start discussing with you. And you say, I will do it. I don't care. Khalas. I want to keep my health. I'm to keep. Now your mind immediately will start thinking, accepting, putting a plan. Next step, you go outside. Hey, salam alaikum, yalla isma'. We are waiting for you to have a very nice knafa. No knafa after today, khalas. But knafa, no, khalas. I took a decision. You start a new style of life. This is what we do. The same thing is applicable 100% in your relation with the Quran. It's a decision. Take it today. Take it tomorrow. Don't leave Quran. But take a decision to have a new plan, new program in your relation with the Quran. Number one. Number two. I'm going to give you a plan, roadmap. Number two, our relation with the masjid, i.e. Salat al-Jama'ah. Forget Ramadan now. I'm talking about normal, forget the Jum'ah now. Generally speaking, the majority of Muslims, they do not come to the Jama'ah. The majority. On top of the Jama'ah, and if you keep just this one, inshallah, really, you will do a great job. Salat al-Fajr, Jama'ah in the masjid. Specifically the Fajr. The Fajr has something very specific. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَقُرْآنَ الْفَجْرِ إِنَّ قُرْآنَ الْفَجْرِ كَانَ مَشْهُودًا. The scholars, they tell you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described Salat al-Fajr by the Quran. As if it's the Quran. إِنَّ قُرْآنَ الْفَجْرِ. There is a specific case for al-Fajr. In a hadith sahih, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, مَنْ صَلَّى الْفَجْرَ فِي جَمَاعَةٍ فَهُوَ فِي ذِمَّةِ اللَّهِ. By the way, this hadith is one. I will explain the meaning. What does it mean? This hadith that I will explain now in English was one of the most important hadith that changed my life and my relation with Allah. I personally, 40 years ago. I started practicing Islam exactly 40 years ago. When I was 15, I'm 55 now. So this hadith, I took it as a criterion, mi'yar, to know whether I'm close or far from Allah. Which is, من صلى الفجر في جماعة فهو في ذمة الله. Anyone who prays Fajr in a Jama'ah, he is under the dhimma of Allah. Now Arabs, they understand how important the word dhimma when we say fi dhimti. Dhimma means the protection of Allah, the support of Allah, the blessings of Allah, the help of Allah, the backing of Allah. Everything that you could ever imagine from Allah means dhimma. Which means when you pray Fajr at the masjid, as if you have signed on a contract of full 24 hours insurance protection by Allah directly. Are you know what this means? By the way, what I'm talking about, no one can understand it unless if you try it. It's like me telling you about a very nice, this for example, piece of chocolate. I say, it's very nice. When you touch it, you say, okay, so, Sheikh, don't waste my time. Give me peace. Oh my God. Khalas, don't explain. I know what this means. Because I tasted. Okay? So when I keep telling you, Salat al-Fajr, Salat al-Fajr, Salat al-Fajr, Salat al-Fajr, just try it. Just try it. Consider going to bed early because I want to go to the Fajr. Consider not having a lot of food late at night because I want to go to the Fajr. Consider putting your alarm at least 1 hour before the Fajr so that you can wake up and have the wudu and pray 2 rak'at of Qur'an and come with peace of mind. Consider reading at least 1 page of the Quran before the Fajr. Attend the Fajr now. It's witnessed by the angels. Full protection. High spiritual. I'm giving you some of the examples how to make benefit of us. I'm talking about taking a decision with regard to these things. If Salat al-Fajr in the masjid became part of your daily life, you are on the right track. And I advise you, wallahi, take it as a criterion to know whether you are close or far from Allah. And you can see when Allah calls you not to attend the Fajr, as if Allah is a little bit angry from you. Yani, hey, fix it. Fix it. Okay? There is something. You have done something. Okay? Go and fix it. Very quickly. When you come, you know, alhamdulillah, I'm on the safe side. It's a physical sign. Because Allah described it in the Quran, and Prophet Muhammad described it in more than one sahih hadith about من صلى الفجر في جماعة فهو في ذمة الله. Keep it in your mind. طيب. How to make benefit of Ramadan? Take another decision about your relation with your family. Your relation with your family. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة. O who you believe, protect yourself and your families, your children, your offspring from a hellfire. Its fuel is based on human beings and stones. My son could be one of those. My son, my daughter, my wife, I myself, I could be one of those. قوا أنفسكم. طب Masjid, the Deen, the Quran, the believers, brothers, sisters, they are the protection. I need to bring him. I need to think about this. So my relation with my family, it should be one of the main decisions. If you are a father, consider, do you give quality time to your kids? Do you love them? Do you prepare them for the akhirah or just for the dunya? As we have something, I came from Jordan. In Jordan, and I believe in Bilad al-Sham generally, Jordanians, Palestinians, Lebanese, Syrians, we have thousands of our relatives, they work in the Gulf since 50 years, 40 years, 30 years. When you ask the majority of the people, when they go to Kuwait or to UAE or Saudi Arabia, why do you go there? يقول لك بدي أأمن مستقبل أولادي. This is a very, very well-known statement. I want to secure the future of my kids. Okay, Sheikh, yalla, tell us, how do you want to secure the future of your kids? You ask most of them, I want to have a good house for them, teach them the best universities, which is good, mashallah, may Allah accept. Some investments, some savings, nice cars, good universities, good place, good villas. Okay, طيب. Okay, what else? Alhamdulillah, خلاص, I secured them. طب, Sheikh, sorry, do your kids pray? Said, Wallahi, subhanallah, inshallah, when we come back to Jordan, I will live next to the masjid and ask them to go to the masjid. La habibi, rahat alayk. Rahat alayk? Rahat alayk. So some people, they think in this way. They think that securing the future of our kids is just with materialistic aspects. Yes, we need it. But the priority to connect them with their Lord, with the akhirah. وابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة ولا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا, which means the majority of your efforts towards the akhirah. So this Ramadan, take a decision. If you are a father or mother, please reconsider. Are you someone whose roadmap based on the concept that my family with myself should go to the Jannah, or my priority to have more houses, or my priority is to have excellent degrees regardless of hijab, salah, Quran? Type. Do I pay for private classes of my kids to have math, science? Excellent. Do you pay for them to hifz Quran with a well-trained sheikh with qira'at? Sheikh, this should be for the sake of Allah. They must not take money. Okay. But sheikh must help our kids to memorize the Quran. طيب, his living, his bills, who will pay them? Jibreel alayhi salam will come and go pay them, for example? We have a big problem in our way of thinking. We pay hundreds for the math teacher. We pay hundreds for the science teacher. We pay hundreds for the school. Sorry, for the sports. طيب حفظ القرآن. No. You know, it's not part of my budget. Reconsider, if you are a parent, your decisions about your relation with your kids. But if you are the son or daughter and still you have your parents, reconsider. That's one of the biggest, I'm giving example just. You make analogy in your life, just examples. Reconsider. If your parents are still living, you need to know that Allah did not emphasize, did not focus to give priority for anything after His worship like He did with بر الوالدين. It's not mine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Who said this? Allah. Allah has decreed that you should worship none but Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to have the excellent way of behavior with your parents. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. To a degree, even if they are non-believers committing shirk and they are forcing you to be a mushrik, you have to respect them. To respect them, but don't obey them. Right? When we take these examples, my relation with the Quran, my relation with the Jama'ah, my relation with my family, my relation with the Fajr, my relation with Sadaqah, my relation, all this, now I take a decision in my life. Ya Allah, help me to do such and such and such and such, and all kind of obstacles in my life. Smoking, watching bad things on behind the screens, having bad groups of my friends, whatever. Take a decision now. How to benefit? I urge you, and I will stop inshallah in 2-3 minutes. What is the message? The message, this is a time of hujjah from Allah against us, which means Allah is establishing the evidence against us that you can do it. Allah is bringing us by force to taste the beauty of Iman, to taste the beauty of the Quran, to taste the beauty of brotherhood. And I know that I have a lot of troubles in my life. Good, bad, with that person, haram, halal, doing extra. I don't know what to do. Here, train yourself to take a decision and make a covenant. Make a promise. Ya Allah, help me to take a decision. Once you say, I will do it, Allah will start giving you the barakah in your plans and in your thinking. Once I did not decide to take a decision, nothing will change. Even if I cried here each night. Imagine me, myself now, every night they are reading Allahu Akbar. Right. MashaAllah, very nice recitation. Listening, alhamdulillah, I'm crying, very nice. Allah will send to me a reminder. Okay, my servant, I want you to change. It's good that you are here, I want you to change. My mind will be obsessed with the idea. Just 2 days ago, I was so tough with my mother. Okay, fix it. No, I don't want. But you are dealing with riba without any necessity. Just to have extra money. Stop dealing with riba. Close the file. I don't want to think about it. You are doing injustice. You are making money, extra money. You don't sit with your kids. Your kids will be lost. Save time for your kids. I don't want to think about this. So it means I don't want any change. So Ramadan will be of no benefit. I will get some ajr, but not the desired ajr and not the desired result of Ramadan. Ramadan has a definition. My personal definition for Ramadan, دورة إنقاذ إلهية إجبارية سنوية. It's a yearly obligatory divine training course where Allah forces us to get into to rescue us. 11 months, we are lost. We come back like وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. When you have a lot of viruses in your mobile or your cell phone, a lot of unwanted applications, stuck. What do? We do what? No. There's something called press reformat according to the manufacturer settings. Do you know this? When you have a lot of extra things, you don't want it, you press one thing's manufacturer settings, which means it goes by itself to what? The original status. Delete all viruses, all extra unneeded applications, all bad things, or over everything. خلاص, fresh again. Yalla, use it. New beginning, newborn. This is Ramadan. Ramadan itself will not. Ramadan helps you to be a new person. Then you will have a new start. Ramadan helps you to take a decision, but then you will, after Ramadan, apply the decision that you have taken. So make a covenant. Ask Allah to help you. Prepare your biggest problems in your life, biggest obstacles, biggest dreams. Your dream, you want to be hafiz, your kids to be hafiz. Think about how to make it. Put a plan, take a decision. Your dream is stop hanging around and going with bad friends, shilla, because of their vaping and they are using drugs, alcohol, weed, whatever. Think seriously how to stop being with them. Your problem, you are a very nervous person, angry person. All the time you say the talaq against your wife every day. And always you want a fatwa to fix your problem. Ask Allah to help you how to control your anger. You need anger management. Ya Allah, help me. Think about this. Bring your dreams and your troubles. Take a decision. Put a plan. Start after Ramadan. On the base of how do you view Ramadan. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى لي ولكم التوفيق. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. جزاكم الله خيرا. And for me, I finished. Unless if you have questions on the topic. I mean, if anyone has a question directly on the topic, I'm ready to answer. Otherwise, we'll stop inshallah. Questions? جزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم. See you inshallah. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.